recording.
The same one.
I turned it off.
Come on, Kirk Franklin. Come on, we love Kirk. We still gonna be stumped. Yeah, till you raising men.
Melodies from heaven.
Till you got children that's in their 30 years of age, and you know, it's really not much you can say. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know the relationship between a child and that parent? You can't speak on. Now, of course, you don't want parents beating them upside the head with a shovel or nothing like that. But
speak for yourself.
We don't know their relationship, so we can't say what he should say or shouldn't say.
We can't.
Some of the major pushback I heard came from people that didn't have kids.
Right.
I said, unless y'all have had to really want to body slam a child,
I'm telling
you can't. It ain't even about right or wrong. It's about you tripping right now.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think I'm gonna hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You don't just come out and do that. It comes from, like you said, we ain't had a whole story. You don't know what that.
That's come from years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, that comes from years
just
of...
a little few seconds.
Kirk was harmonizing the cussing.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, he was
gonna put them together, baby.
I ain't gonna cuss because Michelle here. If it was just my brother,
that is so sweet.
So how can you respect her, but you don't respect... What does that mean?
She said.
See, I don't be Kirk Franklin.
That's right. She gonna entertain.
The man of God don't either.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
But to speak on that, I'm sorry. Can I just say that? Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
To speak on that, he is not the first. He's not gonna be the last.
Y'all cut.
I believe he's still saved. Well, you know, I heard some preachers, some believers say, "What is a cuss word?"
Right.
To me, they're just aggressive. And technically, there is a difference between cussing and cursing someone.
It is.
Right.
You know, cussing is just really aggressive words.
Right.
That we deem to be bad, but they have no power to them other than what we've given to them. Because you're not cursing a person. You're not.
I think they have power. That's why
they have. But all words have power. Yeah, they do have power, but it's a real strong negative connotation to them. So yeah, they do have power.
Yeah.
But you're still not cursing. You're not damning.
It's an expression.
Yeah, it's an aggressive expression, depending on how you use it.
And some people may only understand that.
Because some people could be just offended by saying the word dumb as they would be by saying the S word. So it's
get the first cuss word on camera.
You know, we grew up, you couldn't say dumb, you couldn't say stupid, you get on my nerves. You couldn't say you know the saying, "What's up, dog?" came out.
Couldn't say dog.
My mom was like, "No, don't say that." I was like, "What do you mean we can't say that? What's wrong with that?" Right. You know, and I'm grateful for it today.
And it wasn't about it being so much wrong, it just wasn't appropriate.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you want to speak. And I guess to a degree, they knew what we would be up against growing up. So
exactly.
They wanted us to, knowing that words do have power, they want us to use the right words.
Right.
You don't want to have that a part of your everyday language. So when you go sit at a job interview, you be like, "But no, dog, check it out." You don't want to be talking like that.
At least know how to flip the switch. At least know how to flip the switch and know when to turn it on and when to, you know.
Right.
You know, when in Rome, you know, you
do like the Africans.
That's right. When you're wrong, you do as wrong.
Let me introduce the podcast. We already started. Let's talk about it. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, y'all. It'll help build the channel. As y'all see, the conversation is already good. Today I have my marriage spirit animals. Since I can't get it right, they're getting it right for me. You know, so through them, I've been married 17 years. You know, and it's a blessing. I don't even know, never would have made it without them. But no, I have my brother and my wonderful sister-in-law. Bishop on Facebook is Bishop Crawley and Michelle Crawley. My brother, my younger brother actually, and his wife. Glad to have y'all here. Y'all kind of introduce yourself and tell like what you want to tell about yourself real quick.
Go ahead, ladies first.
Okay. Can you let Ed slide over a little bit so we can get on here, please?
But y'all the guest. I'm not telling people come this way. Let me get in my.
Thank you for having us, Ed. It's an honor, and I thought I was the first female guest.
You're the first wife.
Okay,
that's an honor. You're the first wife.
I'm the first wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I made sure that.
So yeah.
Nope, I just had Tasha on.
And I'm over here like,
You're my first wife.
You his only wife.
Yeah. Baby. I'm your only wife.
That's right. That's right. Your first. Introduce yourself.
Oh, okay. Y'all know me. I don't need no introduction to this. But I'm his wife, and I am one of the founders and owners of the Crawley Family Center, located in Suffolk, Virginia. And my husband and I, we offer several services to families and to the community. And I am a certified doula. So hit me up, ladies.
Explain it to some people may not know.
That is true.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me, what in the world is a doula? Mm-hmm. So a doula is someone that supports the pregnant woman during her pregnancy and during labor, comforts her, empowers her, educates her, and helps her through the process of delivering the baby. I'm going to serve my families to the utmost. I'm going to spoil you, take care of you, make sure you're comfortable. And I've already done some moves and stuff on Eric and building up my strength. And he loves it because, you have to help.
I'm trying to be serious, but that just
it does work.
Okay, good.
It does work. And so I've been practicing. I've done a lot of research, put the time in. I've started several certifications. So hit me up, ladies, if you would like a doula.
And that's like an alternative to going to the hospital. This is something you do at home.
That's a good question. Yeah. So it depends on what type of doula you are or midwife you are. There are several different categories.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Okay.
So right now, the stage that I'm in, I'm certified for. I will only help mom during pregnancy and labor at the hospital.
Okay.
Unless I'm assisting a certified midwife at a home birth. Oh,
so you can do both. So
yes.
You can be a part of both.
Exactly.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it was just home. I didn't know it was support on both ends.
Something I always wanted to do since I was a little girl, and I just kind of like put it to the side. And when I just received my associates in early child education, it's just the opportunity came up, and I was like, wow, now's my time.
Yeah, why not do it? Okay.
So
that's beautiful. Anything else you want to add? I'm going to have all your information about how to contact you for that in the description.
Awesome.
So y'all will be able to reach out if you're interested to have questions and want the service. The information will be right there.
If you are looking to start a preschool or a daycare, you can give me a call and I will help you go through the steps for that as well. It is needed even in these days, but private settings, private educational settings are so needed in the Black community, and I encourage it. And if you feel like you have it, then I say go for it. Get it started and get the kids in. And it's a good opportunity to make an impact on kids' lives while they are younger. Because what I do is I like to say I prepare kids for life, even though they're so young. And I feel like I prepare them for life, and I love it. It's my calling. So
how many years you have in that field? I know you have a lot of years.
20 years.
20 years. That's
20
experience.
Years.
I just wanted people to hear, like, it's not you just starting, and you've been doing this for a long time.
A very long time.
Even prior to having your own kids, you were doing it, and
exactly
just grew along with your kids. Anything else? I'm gonna get to this guy.
A songwriter, music producer.
No doubt.
A worship leader. I'm a worship leader first.
No doubt, Shorty. You already know what it is. It's your boy. Why they gotta start off like that? You already know what it is. Well, so listen, y'all know me. I'm Eric Crawley. Everybody thinks my name is Bishop. But I'm just a fun-loving person, born and raised right here in Emporia, Virginia. This is my brother Ed right here. As we are doing the Crawley Family Center, we're building that. We're also, like I said the last time we were here, we're also building our very own ministry called the Dwelling Place Ministries, which will service along with the services that the Crawley family provides with daycare and childcare and the doulaisms that Michelle will be providing. We will also provide other services as far as marriage counseling, singles counseling, food bank, clothes closets, a place where you can come and freely worship God in your own way. There's no really traditional way that we're going to be doing things, so we're launching that right now. We're currently working on our paperwork, so everything is legal with what we're doing. Y'all also know I write stage plays. Been doing that since 2004.
Yes.
So how many years is that? 17 years. Yeah.
Since 2004.
2000. Yeah, 2004. 16 years. 17. This year makes 17 years. We're writing stage plays. That's just Of course, COVID shut a lot of that down, but we're working on another project right now. Just have to put that out. That'll be launching again later this year. So I'm just excited. I'm going back to school that I've said for the last 20 years that I would never do, but I am going back to.
And why you going back there?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, my wife motivated me through her
y'all.
example.
Somebody motivate me to do something better. Come on, go ahead.
She didn't push me, say, Eric, you need to go back to school, but just seeing everything she went through with going back to school, and I was like, wow, that's pretty dope. That she went back and she persevered. So it was just a motivating factor that I'll be going back to get my associate's degree. It will be based on Christian ministry and pastoral counseling. So yeah, that's what my focus will be when I go back to get my associates. I'll be enrolling into the Berean Light Institute.
I was gonna say that.
Starting the fall
I was
class.
gonna ask you was you going there, but I didn't want you to think I was trying to be funny.
No, seriously.
Okay, because you know I'd be
Starting in the fall, so I'm working on that application now. So things are looking up. Out of all we've been through, things are looking up.
All right, we didn't come here to preach.
Okay, my bad.
I'm just playing. And I'll have all your information in the description as well about whatever I need to as far as your social
the
media.
Dwelling Place Ministries.
Dwelling Place, Crawley Family Center.
Yeah.
All of y'all's business contact info. Mm-hmm. But you said something important. Y'all will be doing marriage counseling and singles counseling.
Yes.
Correct.
So we've already been doing that for a while now.
Y'all been skipping me. So I got y'all here today to help the people and hopefully help me too.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, but so going back to the beginning, there's a couple variations of this story. But how did y'all connect? How did y'all meet? Because y'all been together for a long time now.
So
Y'all been together two of my wives.
Whew. So I'm gonna skip some of the stuff. I won't add all the details because we will be coming out with the book at some point, and we want y'all to purchase the book. Right. We did meet at church. We met at Illinois Jarrell Worship Center, and we both grew up here in Emporia. We knew each other, but we never hung out in the same circle. But it's funny how you used to live in Mahern Apartments, and we used to hang out there. And then once we left that area, then Michelle was hanging out in that area. So we missed each other in life coming up.
One of them was the other one was hanging there at the same time I was there.
Who? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay. We ain't gotta say no names.
Oh,
You slow. Jesus, man.
No, he just don't know.
So
He just doesn't know.
So anyway, we met at church. I went to church and I saw Michelle. She caught my eye, and I told Ed actually, I was like, man, next time I go to church, man, I'm gonna holler at Michelle. So this particular Sunday, right before church was over with, Michelle got up and walked out of church with her cousin, and Ed was like, man, you better go ahead.
That's right, I told him.
And
He did.
So
He always says that. He said,
I almost
"Wasn't
lost my
Ed."
nerve. Yeah, if Ed hadn't gave me that nerve, I probably would have lost it and never had the opportunity again. I probably never worked my nerve back up. But yeah, he was like, hey man, you better go ahead. He was like, all right man, go ahead and holler at her.
Did that.
So I jumped up because I thought she was leaving for the day. So I jumped up, went outside, and we connected, and I dropped that Mac on her, and bam.
You did what?
I dropped that Mac on you.
That's his story.
Okay, you have a version.
I mean, I really don't know how we met. I
That's
know
how we met.
Good.
when I first I knew
That hurt. That was supposed to be a life-changing experience, girl.
I'm still with you, babe.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So we I've known Eric for years, and we were singing in the same community choir. I was very, very young then. They're quite older than I am, and
I'm not quite older than you are.
I'm only 3 years older than you.
4 and 3.
Yeah,
that's
quite like I'm old.
4 years and 3 years. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, so imagine if they are 13, then I would have been what?
You've been 10.
Very young.
That'd been weird.
That's like a baby.
That'd been weird.
And I've known their I probably knew their parents before I knew them.
Yeah.
And sweetest people in the world. I love and miss their mom. So I knew her. I was a little girl from the doctor's office here in Emporia.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, all of our parents knew each other because of church. And that's right.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, so I knew them. And what I remember is, I remember working at Mr. D's.
Yeah.
God is so amazing.
Oh, wow.
God orchestrated everything because I was starting to turn my life around when I went to Mr. D's. I was giving up some things that were not good for me. and people around me could tell, they could see. And I'm in Mr. D's, and this young man right here, he comes in, and I don't remember. He can tell you what he did.
I can't even fill out a job application.
Why would he come to Mr. D's?
First of all, I heard of Mr. D. I mean, I knew about Mr. D's, but I don't know why I went in there to fill out the job.
How I got connected to Mr. D's, and then he came in to fill out applications. Like God was just trying to well, not trying, but God was just really just getting us together.
Okay.
And we didn't see it then. We didn't know that. So when he came in, he did what he did, and he leaves me a tip.
I didn't eat.
He didn't eat. He didn't order the food.
You know what I'm saying?
So, my cousin's mom, my cousin's baby mom at the time, she was like, girl, he left you a tip. And I was just like, oh, okay, that's cool. I was like, that's really nice. I was just so oblivious. I was very naive, you know. And to me, I'm just like, okay, I wasn't thinking about him, you know, because I was changing my life around. Okay. And so, but yes, so later on, so real talk, I did not pay it any mind whatsoever. And it's like, it still took her a second to like, you know, help it click or what. I was like, he left a tip. Like, what's the big deal? You know, who don't leave a tip? So, I'm just messing with you.
No, you good.
So, I remember him coming to church. He was in the choir, and we were singing and stuff like that. And then he started asking for a ride. But then my big sister started saying, girl, you got him walking to church. He was going to walk from Main Street all the way up 301 South to come to church. And I think that's when it clicked to me. Like, okay, all right, you know. But I still looked at him just like any other man. But then he started to do other things. And so Ed asked the question, what made us click, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I started spending time with this man, we could be in a room full of people. And he would make me feel like I was the only person there.
I can't tell all the stories, man. I wish I could tell some of these stories.
He would make me feel like, and I never had that before.
Okay.
I never had that before. And I was very young when we got together.
That's a young age to
19.
Exactly.
To recognize that. Because some people don't recognize that till they get like around.
I couldn't put it into words then.
Right.
But that's what he did. It was like we became best friends. Like he accepted me, all of my past, because I was an open book. We were friends, so I would tell him everything. And I would go and see him and visit him.
Yes, and see, I knew she was. I don't know if you say she was the one, but I knew.
I think it's safe to say that.
Yeah, she was the one.
Okay,
go ahead.
Hold that thought, because I was gonna ask. Did you know they were the one, or did you decide they were the one? Keep going. This might get into it.
She was the first girl I would let come to my apartment unannounced, and I not get mad, or like, what you doing here?
That's a fact.
And she would come, and she would I was working midnights at the time, so she would come, hang out all night, and I could not wait to get off.
He didn't have any cable.
And it wasn't even, and I'll be honest.
Friday after next 8,000 times.
A million.
A million times. Friday after next.
And I went to sleep off of it every night.
Every night. Keep going.
No cable.
I can say, so to answer your question, you said, did I know she was the one? I will say yes. It was not just something I had to decide.
Okay.
It's not something I had to reason with, because just being around her, because I was coming from broken relationships and not being happy, but being around Michelle, I could be myself, totally myself, without having to think how to impress her. I didn't have to really clean up the house or really try to dress a certain way. She accepted me for just being me. She laughed at my corny jokes, and we would sit and hold hands for hours.
Till our hands hurt.
Yeah, we're like, man.
Till our knuckles hurt.
We would sit like this, like holding
hands.
Just
us two in the apartment.
And dog ain't really have, like, you know, like back in the day, everybody had to have spider lights.
Always clean, always smell good.
Yeah,
I remember that. But I was going home.
Yeah.
And see, that's what happened. Yeah. He realized that I had such a connection with my mom and my daddy. So he told me that he married me because he got tired of me going home.
Yeah. Man.
So,
that's deep, though.
Man.
My mama would come and blow the horn and come get me, and I'm grown.
Yo, the pasta outside.
And she was like, Michelle, you know, she would cook my favorite meals and everything to get me to come home.
That's funny. I can't tell all y'all. That's gonna be a good book, y'all.
You know,
y'all
she
tell all the
came
stories.
one day. We were trying to cook, and we had never cooked a chicken.
Cut up a chicken. Yeah.
She left her job. You know, her job was in walking distance. She came
Yeah,
over
I didn't
real
imagine.
quick during her lunch break
Cut
and showed us how to cut up a whole chicken so we could cook it.
Wow.
Great memories.
But I
Okay.
don't know if that answered your question or not.
No, that was good.
Okay.
That was good.
Yeah, you made
Okay.
me feel like the only person in the room.
Yeah.
It could be
That's important.
young girls in there. I mean, these were girls that I hung with for years. I knew.
I was gonna say, mind you, because even at the church, it was a lot of women
It
that
was.
was around the same age. All of y'all, that
It was popping.
it's like that whole group ended up in church. So it was like it was a lot of people to choose from if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And Michelle was just so special. She is special, but really, and when she says that and there was nobody else in that room. And men, that's how you should make the woman that you say you love feel. They should never have to compete with another woman or feel like you're giving that woman more attention than you're giving her. And even to this day, real quick story, the Peanut Festival, 2019, when we was promoting the play, I was in the parade, and as I'm walking down, now it's thousands of people up and down the road. When I got to the point where Michelle was, I cannot tell you anybody that else was around, because I felt like I zoomed in on her and I went over and hugged and kissed her, because at that moment, all the people that I dapped up and threw candy to and hugged and, you know, what's up, come to the play, nobody else at that moment mattered but my wife. And that's just how it is. And that's not something I meant for it to be, but at that moment when I saw her, nobody else existed.
I had tunnel vision too, and I remember we were sitting in front of the old Hallemeyers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I remember it was some of the saints and stuff was sitting over there, like the Mayfields, and my cousins and my sisters were out there, and I remember having tunnel vision. I was so proud of this man. I was looking at him like you would think we were in a Macy's parade or something, you know. I was so proud of him, and I was proud that he was mine. And it's like I had tunnel vision, and then when he shared that with me later, I was like, wow, I was feeling the same way. It's like time stopped for a moment for me to get
this making me happy or sad. I feel mixed over here. Like this is a dope story.
I was
but
trying to give you some water from the bottle of water. I was trying to something.
I think you was trying to give it to me.
I was trying to give him a bottle of water to make sure he had, because you know they're in the parade walking. You know, I'm trying to give him water, and
That's real talk. That's real talk.
it was it's like time has stopped for us to have that moment.
And by that time I had probably fist bumped and hugged about 100 people.
Yeah, for that,
And none of those people mattered at that moment. I didn't even know where she was in the parade.
Right.
But as I was walking and we locked, she's the only person that mattered.
Man, that is.
And that's how it is.
That is a beautiful story so far.
That's how it is. Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, so you mentioned your mama coming over to help cut the chicken up, but that's important. Okay, how much do you think having similar or common backgrounds played into y'all working? Because I remember hearing a preacher say, I want to say his name was R.A. Vernon.
Might have been.
It was some years ago. Not saying whether he was correct or incorrect, but this is the statement he said. He said, you know a lot about the woman you're getting by looking at her mother.
Yeah.
That was a point I was going to bring out.
Okay, well, elaborate.
That is.
Because I want to connect that.
Not only just looking at her mother, looking at how she deals with her mother. Because even in like the way Michelle and I communicate.
Sunday, we was playing the game.
I don't like y'all.
Hey, Pastor Woodley.
Hey,
I
Mom.
gotta make sure I love you. Just make
Me and
sure
you
I
gonna watch
say
this
that.
together later, Mom.
Even in conversation.
So you're gonna know I said I love you.
She know you reached out.
Yeah, I
to
told her last time.
Okay, well, shout out to her last
Making
time.
sure you know that.
But even in I watched Michelle and her mother have conversations. So then when we have conflicts or we have conversations and I'm not agreeing with the way she's dealing with it, I have to think back, this is the way she was raised.
Wow.
So that's why she is the way that she is with her mother or her father. That's just a part of her. So now in our communication, I have to realize, okay, this is what she's used to. She's used to talking it out from A to Z. When I just want to go
To A to K.
I just want to do E and F. I don't feel like doing this entire thing, but her relationship with her mother and the way that they deal with each other. Not saying I have to be like her mother, I have to be like
That's
her
right.
father, but that's what she.
But you know her point of reference.
Right, I know her point of reference.
That's what's okay.
Right,
Does
right.
that apply going the same way?
Yeah, I never heard him say that before. Yes.
Okay.
You know,
That's important.
Oh, you're gonna learn a lot. Keep
looking
it
at
rolling.
the dynamics of the family, just knowing who your father is. And I say this all the time. I probably say it every time I go around the Crawley side of the family. I am so grateful that my husband comes from a stable, like I can't I could cry just thinking about it.
Shoot, I think about it sometimes.
I'm so grateful. Like y'all head table family members. Everybody is saved. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's perfect, but still, this is me. This is my truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speak your truth.
I am so grateful that his dad is so just like he'd be like, let's pray about it, and he encourages him and he pushes him, and he'll always tell. I love the way he talks to you all. He talks to you all as if you all are stronger than a horse. You're faster than a car.
That's why we are, because he thinks he's 7 foot tall.
Yeah. Exactly.
He doesn't think like a short person. You know,
and
he doesn't have a short man complex. He just think he's a giant.
Exactly.
You know?
Sure.
And his love, I think because you all saw you posted the other day, and so I think about him loving your mom, and you got a chance to see that. I think that
cry up in here.
I think we
Get myself together.
That joint is deep.
Yo.
Let's say, Lord, thank you God. Let's say let's say my mom was a drug addict, okay?
Okay.
And let's say Eric was in love with me. I believe that the version of my mom not being a drug addict, that's still me. And sometimes a lot of men and women see that past, like, cause a lot of people don't have it, all together or even halfway. But that's still the you still in that line of that's who she would be if she wasn't a drug addict. That's
so you
really
saying
my wife.
You were a drug addict, but your mom wasn't?
If my mom was, and I wasn't, I think he would still see my mom. And that would be like he would be like, oh, and we'll both say, oh, your mom would look like this, or your mom would talk like that.
Okay, that's deep.
So I do think that we do look at the family dynamics and we say, oh my goodness, I don't know about this one, or we might say, this it right here. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think we say it out loud. I think it's just a thought. It's a mental breakdown.
And just in a moment of transparency, this is about y'all. I think that's been part of my problem. I haven't looked past what I just saw initially. You have to know what a person comes from.
You have to.
That really does matter.
Yes.
And sometimes you can't love a person past that if they haven't dealt with that.
Okay.
So no matter how much you care about them or whatever, until they deal with that over there, whatever they come from, it's not much you can do because they don't know they've never seen love in that form.
That's right.
So even though they want that type of love, they don't know how to accept it.
That's right.
And I've seen that over and over. And I think I try to go and try to save people. Because
and some people
I have
do.
an open heart and I have a caring
it's,
heart. So when I see people in certain situations, like I want to be the one to show you that love, but not considering they up against a lot that I can't by myself overcome.
That's right.
That's just
because we weren't raised to go into relationships to save people. We weren't taught to do.
We didn't see that, right?
We didn't see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were taught A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what's right. This is what's wrong.
Saw, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pray for them. Let's pray that they get themselves together, whatever like that. But I think now we are learning now and seeing how to be compassionate, how to have more patience. But that also comes with maturity. Because once you see yourself grow up and you be like, look where I come from, and then you raising your kids up, and so a lot of judgment falls off.
Yeah. Because you get it. You start to understand your parents more.
Exactly.
And the older your kids come, you like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
My parents, and you realize too, my parents was just learning too.
We growing up.
We thought they had
Yeah.
They learning this on the spot.
So, on the spot.
On the spot. They ain't want no book. They just doing what they thought was best. Because right now, that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm doing the best with the information I have, but I don't really know how this gonna turn out.
Nope.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's no handbook. There's no manual that comes with this.
Yeah.
I think we look back at our parents sometimes and think that they were superheroes, but like you said, they were making it up. But I think we romanticize a lot of our thoughts and our memories, even though as they're going through it, they were making a bunch of mistakes that we just didn't see. But in our minds, it was like they were perfect, but nah, they were.
I did that when I was younger, but now that I'm getting older,
yeah.
and I'm not even 40 yet, but now that I'm getting older, I realize my parents are just human.
Yeah.
My parents are, I'm just like them, they're just like me, they're just human. So.
And now they ain't trying to be playing. If we weren't playing, they was just getting some.
For sure.
And they found out we was gonna be here, and they had to figure it out from there.
Yeah.
So we were all the same.
Yeah.
We're all in, it repeats itself, you know.
Yeah.
And I look at them, I think they had it even harder.
Yeah.
I think that, and I think they're also stronger than we are. Just like I think we're stronger than our kids.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to endure more. You know? I do feel like a lot of stuff they went through and struggled with is because of what they were given, what they were handed. And so that may have allowed them to make some, bad calls or whatever, or fight some battles that we'll probably never understand.
True.
You know, and then we have our own that our kids will never, have to face. Thank God.
For sure.
And then they'll have their own.
Yeah. Okay. Moving along, well, still within the same vein, because you recently become certified as a doula, Eric with the bishop with the plays, or however you want to be referred to.
Eric.
You both have different things you're building separately, even with the Crawley Family Center, and you're growing as people. How do you both grow, yet not grow apart?
Wow.
Because people grow, and you always hear, we grew apart.
Yeah.
How do you grow? Still growing, you still becoming a different, better person, evolving to your better version. You doing the same. You have separate things you're doing, then you have things you're doing together. How do you do all of that and don't grow apart after 17 years?
It's a choice.
Well,
That's good.
for one thing, you don't be in competition with one another.
That's right.
That's good.
Whatever Michelle wants to do in life, I'm going to push her to do it. And she's going to do the same thing for me. And knowing that her ultimate goal is whatever she wants to do is going to benefit the entire family. And whatever I want to do is going to benefit the entire family. So it keeps us from growing apart. And just being up, and like I said last time, being each other's best friend. I'm not going to go out and.
Now, what does that sound? What does that mean? How does that look? Because people say, "My best friend."
Yeah, they
does that
say
mean
it, but I don't think they know
telling
what it
everything
entails.
or just sharing everything? What does "that's my best friend" really mean in a marriage? Because I don't really know.
Go ahead.
Clearly, I don't know.
So, to add to the first thing you were saying, write down what your 5-year plan is as a couple.
That's good stuff,
after
y'all.
5
This
years,
is good stuff.
After 5 years, write down what the next 5 years are going to be, because I can promise you that who I was when I met Eric is not who I am today.
Right.
And you have to accept that I want to come back to I just want to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
You have to accept, and I do say you have to accept, because if you are ready to be selfless and say I do, then that means that you are ready to be selfless and say I do. And I think a lot of us go into it not realizing that that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Dropping bars, y'all. That's good stuff.
If you're not ready to put your life on hold to add somebody to you, don't do it. Wait. Do everything you want to do. Go ahead, babe.
No, because I mean, just to that point, you stupid.
Go ahead.
It's even like in the job sector. I think we approach relationships like the job sector. Like this generation, there's no longevity.
Right.
There's no one's starting a job to do it for 20 years and then retire. They're starting it for, I'm gonna do this 2 years, and if everything doesn't work out, then I'm gonna move on. Or I'm gonna do this a year just to get me to the next level.
Or as soon as something happens
Or as soon as something happens.
I'm gonna quit.
So we approach
I don't deserve
relationships.
this.
We approach relationships the exact same
Come
way.
on.
If I meet this person and they're not already the standard, then I'm gonna move on. Not knowing, Michelle just said it. We're not the same people we were in 2003 when we met.
I'm ever evolving. I'm ever changing. If I am the same person, why would you want to?
Right.
I would question that
Right.
because you should be growing.
I love her more now than I did in 2003.
But how does that happen? And I'm not even trying to be funny because I know people that have been married a long time.
What are your goals?
And they're just together, but
Right.
if you talk to them, they really ain't. They don't like each other.
And
They love each other, but they don't like each other.
We like each. I think
Yeah, we
Like
like
you
each
back.
other.
Yeah,
But
there's a difference.
But there are times where you're not going to like each other.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're living with somebody for the rest of your
Yeah.
life, so they're going to do things to irk you. They're going to not pick up behind themselves, or they're going to put the
Let's
toilet,
go ahead and get into the
toilet
nitty-gritty.
roll
Come
up the wrong way, or they're going to snore, or see, we talk about credit. We talk about the big things, the credit and the past relationships and the cheating and stuff.
Regular people ain't dealing with that stuff.
Yeah, it's that little stuff
Right,
that's going to cause you not to like each other. But we
Come on,
talked
give me an
about
example. Come on.
it. Okay, snoring. You just want to go and put the cover that nose up.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But no, it's the little things that will drive you apart and that you don't like each other.
Yep, the
or
little
the way
things.
a person thinks, or the way that they communicate, will cause you not to like them.
Yep.
But
Can you say that one more time, please?
Okay,
Say
I
it one
like
time.
that.
what did I just say?
I'm glad you said that.
Even to like how that person communicates,
How that
I'm
person
glad you said that.
communicates.
or irk your nerves.
Yes.
It could be how they walking. Like
Right.
one day you be like, "Oh, why you walk like that?"
Get on my. Ooh, you just get on my.
You know? Come on.
But when you love the core of the person, who that person is, and how they make you feel, even in all of Michelle's imperfections, I can't even really explain it. But I love her soul. I love the core of Michelle. So even in conversations where I don't like the way she thinks, I don't like her point of view, I still love her. So even if we can't come to an agreement, I know this agreement is not gonna make me stop loving her.
it ain't worth it to
Yeah.
lose. It's not worth for me to lose all of him.
Right.
That's
good.
Good
That's
gracious, man.
What's your cash app?
Yo,
That's just
that's good.
That's-
Oh my gracious, keep
What's your
going.
cash app?
you.
It
Okay.
ain't worth it to lose
I
all
think-
of him. Oh
I
my
think
gracious.
if the little things, in my opinion, now I have went to school and taken some psychology classes for early child education. Okay.
She tried to use it on me.
Good.
Oh my
God.
Just go ahead.
You're dropping bombs in here. I like this.
If all the little things that irk my nerves, some of the little things that Eric does trumps the bigger picture, then I haven't matured.
So it ain't even on him.
No.
Right. And that's what we talk
It's
about.
all,
boundaries.
it's all
Yeah,
based
hey.
on your maturity.
Oh my Lord, that's
And
good.
that boundary.
And my mom and my dad told me when I was very young, they said now, some people don't mature till they're 70 years old. And I'm looking at them like, what do you mean? Like, cause I'm like, what? No. I said, that's like their whole life. That's what I'm thinking about, you know.
Yeah.
And now when you think about it, you like, that is kind of
And if
young,
you look at
70
some
years
people
old.
too, though, but look at as you get older, you look at some people like they still ain't grew up.
They still haven't gotten
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So either one,
So-
y'all, this is good. I ain't gonna cut you.
I don't know if this answers your question or not, but and a lot of you people that may be viewing this have heard of love language, right?
Bro, I
So-
promise you. Look what I got right there. Do love
Love.
language factor into the marriage? Keep going.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I was talking to a young guy.
That was in our conversation today.
A friend. I was talking to a friend not too long ago, and he was saying that he used to buy his wife buy her things, and she didn't like it.
Material things. Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Why don't she like? I'm going out buying her stuff because that's not her love language. Her love language may be hugs, physical
her
touching.
feet.
Touch, yeah.
So you got to understand that you may be loving someone, but they're not accepting it because that's not the way they want to be loved. So that's nothing wrong with them. You have to change
Yeah.
the way that you're loving them and meet them where they are.
That's what marriage is.
Right.
Marriage is about being completely selfless. You're bringing another person into your life, okay? And we base it off of biblical principles. I am now once he left his mama and dad, and he said, okay, I want you to marry me, and he makes me his wife, that means that he is now putting aside his hobbies. He's putting aside his opinion. He's putting aside, now I'm not saying he's dropping it. He's saying, I got to think about her now when it comes to
Every
my
time.
hobbies,
Every
when it
time.
comes to my, you know what I'm saying, my interests. And so what I was trying to say earlier is, if you want to finish school before you get married, do it.
Yeah.
If you want to, you know, go to acting school and become an actor or actress or whatever before you get married, do it.
Yeah.
Do not, if you are a person who wants to go and play basketball 7 days a week,
You can really do it when you're married.
why would you go get married and you think in your mind that you're supposed to be able to still do that 7 days a week? What if you had kids? What if in 3 years later you had kids? You still gonna go play basketball 7 days a week? To me, does that make sense? Maturity.
Oh my gracious.
Maturity.
Mm-hmm.
This is good.
Marriage is about being selfless. It's about being, it's like taking that person saying, I know you're a child and I'm a child. Let's grow up together. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to stop talking to my brother and my sister because they've done something that's so gut-wrenching. I mean, you don't even want to talk about it. It make it feel like somebody died in the family. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people do it, but that's just me. And if I choose to do that, why would I stop talking to my husband and he ain't done nothing that's bad? Just over just something so small. Because
I leave dishes in the sink.
Or because he said or he told me that, you know, that I'm ignorant or something like that. Why would I do that? Not saying he didn't do that, but I'm giving an example. I'm trying to think of something real bad. Why would I just drop him? That's it. We divorcing over that, but I can go forgive my sibling that's done something
10 times worse. Mm-hmm.
Think about that. And I'm not saying to now don't forgive your siblings. No. Maturity is forgiving.
And she's not saying her actual siblings did. She was giving examples.
Right.
I'm just giving examples. Thank you for clarifying that.
What's going on with them?
No, definitely not. I'm just giving examples because this is what.
Question? I don't even know.
Yeah, y'all about in this.
You have to write down
you
have to write down
this might help me get a wife now.
We teach this in our marriage ministry. You need to get a 5-year plan first. Start small. Where do you see yourself in 5 years as a couple? Mm-hmm. Okay?
Not individually.
As a couple. Okay. And you can, I'm so glad you said that, mm-hmm. you can intertwine your individual goals to come together into that 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're still both getting what you need.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
I did.
Some podcast. Go ahead,
Just real quick, man. I'm sorry. So, in the early years of our marriage, I didn't know who I was. I was young, still, going into myself. And then I started having, aspirations and dreams and stuff like that and goals. And then now I'm reaching them. And then, halfway there up to now, something hits me and I'm like, I don't think I'm doing something right. He was doing his thing or whatever like that. And this is not for everybody. This is my testimony. I'm like, okay. So then it hits me. And so I said, I'm going to put forth my all. So I told him one day, I said, babe, I was like, your next play. I said, look, I want to be at the forefront. I want to help you with anything that I can. Let me know. Because I said, I really haven't been helping you. I feel like the way I should help you doing your productions. Okay. So the time came. I'm challenged. I said, okay, I'll put my money where my mouth is, right? I stepped up and I felt like I achieved it. And he came to me and told me, he said, babe, you did it. That's when I saw what I was able to achieve my own, because it seemed like the things I wanted to do wasn't getting to where I needed to get to. But once I started helping him, that's when things started moving like that for me.
Wow. Okay.
But that may not be your story, but it may help somebody.
That's a lesson for somebody.
Because this man from day one is always pushing me, always encouraging me. He's always saying, babe, what I need to do to help you do this? What do I need to do to see you through? Always.
So like you doing it unlocked that next
did.
Door for you.
It did.
Wow. That is powerful.
I don't know if he feels the same way, but that's my testimony. Yeah. I know he came in and said, you did it this time.
Wow. Okay, good.
But and I'm glad she said that because it's just another lesson that you have to learn while you're in your marriage.
Yeah.
She wasn't helping push me at one point. And I was bitter and I could have walked away and not wanted to be with her anymore. But whatever I do, whatever I accomplish, it was still us. I still loved her.
Maturity.
She just wasn't where I wanted her to be. But given time, she got to where I wanted her to be. And now, look, things blossom. So you got to have some patience because the person that you're in love with may not always reach.
Thank you for not leaving me because I would have never understood that. If he left me right then, I would have just been like, oh my goodness.
Okay, so to some degree, it's okay to love a person based on the potential of what you see. Because what if she never would have matured to that point? So you had to believe that was in you.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You had to believe that to actually have the patience to say, I know that's in her. So like I said, I'm not gonna drop the whole woman because
Right.
I don't see that. That's
Exactly.
But then you have to come to a conclusion that even if she never reached that standard that I thought she should have been, there's still so much more to her that I love. So this standard may not even really be a part of our plan. It's just so many dynamics.
It may not matter.
Yeah, it may not matter because there's so much other stuff to her.
And I was gonna say, now look at it with the pandemic and stuff. You haven't even been able to do that. So
Right.
say if you dropped her and you can't
Exactly.
even do it now anyway.
Now, yeah,
That's
yeah.
good.
Now I'm by myself.
Nat, come on.
Then you don't have your gift or your girl.
Come on.
Yeah,
Or
you can't edit that.
what if he would have dropped it and he was never able to see it through because he didn't wait for me to mature to help him see it through?
So you would have been the next one to help push him to the next spot. But oh my gracious.
That would have been an abortion.
I hope. Oh man.
Shot, nah,
I got chill on top of my head. This is good stuff, y'all. Oh my gracious.
So yeah, I'm and we have years where he went off to the academy. And, you know, I had what we call Irish twins, like y'all are, you know,
14
almost
months.
a
Yeah,
year.
14 months, yeah.
And Rice and Rael are, and he remembers. I blocked it out,
So you got two babies at once.
and I blocked it. I have a really good memory. Like my family, like, oh, you remember everything. It's almost like a blessing and a curse at the same
Lord, that
time.
drive from, oh my Lord, that drive home.
Don't you talk about it.
Oh my gracious.
I have blocked out so much of those
about a
like
4-hour
2
argument.
years
I'm gonna let her tell it.
of what we went through. And he'll tell me like, babe, all I remember sometimes I would come home from working, 13, 14 hours a day because I was on the road too. And I would just come home and get in the floor in the family room and go to sleep. And I remember him just cooking. He would come, he would be there from work. He would cook for the kids, or he'd come home from the weekend and I would just give him the kids, he said. But I blocked out like everything.
And let me jump in and listen. And for those that do know y'all, they see y'all as this beautiful couple, which y'all are. But they don't know some of what it took to get y'all to listen, y'all. And like I said, I wish I could tell some of the stories, but it's their stories to tell. Some of y'all would have survived through some of this stuff. I promise you. Oh my gracious.
So my point was, what if he would have left me when I was in a dark place? That would have left me like, what happened? I was in a dark place. I didn't know.
Because you would have even understood why
I
he
would have
left.
never understood.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But he stayed with me and gave me time to come to the light.
What about I can't tell it now because I got to save it for the
That's
book.
what's
What about the 2 years that she could have left me, really? And I'm going to save it for the book. Michelle,
You know this.
she could have left me. And when I shared in the book, 99% of the women probably like, yeah,
Wow.
I'd have been gone. But,
Because that's what people are encouraging now.
yes.
I don't have to put up with, I don't have to take care of them. They're a child. I don't have to be their mom. See, you have to really break down what you're saying when you say that to people. Because you really have to be specific in details when you are coaching and you're teaching and you're, sharing with people. Because somebody's going to really think you mean that, I'm not going to be cooking for him and stuff like that. Why not? He cooks for me. Why can't I cook for him? But see, somebody that's not mature,
Yeah, that mindset.
that's not, intellect may not be, may not have understanding in that era, they might think they never supposed to cook for their husband.
And I was going to say, so much of what's not wrong has been made to seem like it's wrong. Like you say, what's wrong with me cooking for my husband?
Yeah.
What's wrong with me cleaning the house? Like,
Right.
where did we get to a point where things that used to be natural to do and that nobody was complaining about become these egregious things? I ain't cleaning up behind no man.
We crossed the line of meeting each other.
I remember when we first got married, and I respected this person, and they said something, and I took it like, okay, that's law. They said when their husband cleaned up, they never told him thank you. It's like, I ain't telling him thank you. I'm gonna tell him thank you for cleaning up for it. That's what he's supposed to do. And I took that as law. But then I thought about, that's dumb. If my wife clean up, I'm supposed to tell her thank you. Or if she does something, wash dishes, cook a good meal, I'm supposed to say thank you. Yeah, it's her reasonable
Thank you is
service.
not my love language. He knows that. So he just give an example. He
I
do
mean,
something.
I'm
He
supposed
does other
to.
things.
I'm supposed to appreciate it. But the person said it, it was like, they made it seem like it was, they're supposed to do it anyway.
Lack of knowledge.
Yeah, why am I going to give attention to that? Yeah, I'm supposed to.
So going back, because you mentioned it again. So do you both recognize what your love languages are? Which one is the strongest of the 5?
Yeah, I need to work on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so love language, if you don't know, love language is words of affirmation, physical touch, gift giving, quality time, and acts of kindness. Acts of service or acts of kindness. My love language, I tell Michelle all the time, you gotta be bilingual with me because I love
That's why I
physical
change
touch.
my hair a lot.
Yeah.
Touch me, tease me. I forget Michelle up here. Don't do that.
I think physical touch, acts of kindness, and words of affirmation are my big three. Words of affirmation.
Perseverance.
Like for me, I need to be told you the best I ever had. I need you to tell me that. You know what I mean? That's my.
I ever had.
You know, I need you to tell me I'm handsome. I need you to tell me I'm fine.
Oh no.
And then obviously, me and love physical touch. So that's
His love language. His main love language is when I'm his main. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, put you out there. His main love language is. How can I find the right word?
Say it.
Oh my goodness.
he been cussed on so many, so you can say something
I
clean.
ain't custom here today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know why cursing makes me feel uncomfortable,
And see,
and I get distracted.
So I wouldn't even do that to
What's my
you.
love language?
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
His love language is a trophy wife. Let me break that down to you.
Okay.
Baby, I want you to be healthy. I want you to work out and eat right, stuff like that. Oh, baby, I want you to complete all your goals. From the time you get up to the time you go to bed at night, I want you to check everything off the list. Baby, I want you to be the bomb. I want you to bring in all the money. I want you to take care of us.
Y'all
Do
talk
your
like that to
thing.
each other. He talk like that to you?
Yeah. So, baby, I want you to spoil the boys, and I want you to, cover up, get them little Band-Aids and stuff, and check their boo-boos and stuff like that, and talk to them
I
real
don't talk to
sweet.
her like that. I don't talk to her like that. No, I don't be talking about a couple dead boo-boos.
Oh no, he be like,
Boo-boos.
Michelle, aren't you going to go check their foot? They bigger than me.
They bigger than everybody.
And he be like, but that's what a mama should. Says who? His love language is a trophy wife. So that, and I'm gonna tell you,
Okay.
I have
Now
been
you
saying,
what
saying this, and I need to put this whole paragraph on a T-shirt.
Okay.
When we reached our 16-year mark, you know what I said? I'm striving to be that trophy wife for this man right here.
Oh wow.
All 16 years, all
Let this
I
man being you. That was also
You know what?
in Michelle Terrell Crawley.
look,
Yeah, that's words.
16 years.
And you did, at that point you said I'm gonna go in even deeper.
I can say that now because
Oh,
now I
gracious.
am walking to who I am, what I want out of life, and I can say without a shadow of a doubt that after 16 years of marriage, all I want to do is to make this man happy. That's it.
I think
And he knows it too. Like he kind of takes advantage of it. I think sometimes he knows I don't like when he is not happy, and that's all I want to do is to make this man happy. That's it. Nothing else matters.
I think Michelle's love language is as long as I'm communicating.
Okay.
From A to Z.
Okay.
Yeah, from A to Z. Go ahead.
No, keep going.
Yeah, I
Touch on
think-
communication.
Because I don't have to talk. As much fun loving as I am, people think I'm just this big extrovert, and I
wish we had a bell
I
every
can-
time that I know that he's telling the truth. Just to,
I could go. We can get into a disagreement, and I can just stop. I don't have to talk. I can go the whole day, leave me alone. But I had to realize that that's not Michelle's love language. She shouldn't have to walk around on eggshells, or as we talked about earlier this morning, cordial, just to be cordial, just because I'm upset. So now I'm getting to the point, not gotten to the point, I'm getting to the point where I will sit down and I'll talk it out, because I know that's going to keep the peace. That's going to make her. So when I come to her and want what I want,
come on here. You breaking it down. You making it
We
plain.
speak in tongues.
You make-
because
plain.
I've expressed how I feel, and we've come to that from A to Z. We talk A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. We've hit all of the communication goals.
Okay.
Then when it's time for us to come together, it's going to be that more
A smooth flow.
that much. It's going to be the way it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So communication would be.
Can we talk about communication?
What
do I have? What's the last word I have right there? Communicate. Like y'all are on point, and y'all can't see my notebook from right there. That's literally the last thing I got right there. Go ahead, go into it.
Can we please talk about communication?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric and I have learned from our own. You like a little kid over here.
No, it's cool.
We have learned from our own experience that, for years we heard that marriages don't last because of finances. Marriages don't
Infidelity.
last because of
People
sex.
cheating.
You
You're
know,
answering the question I was going to ask you. Keep going.
no, that is not it.
Literally.
Marriages fail because the lack of communication concerning finances, concerning intimacy, concerning physical appearance, concerning dreams and goals and stuff. Communication. Nobody wants to go see a counselor because nobody wants to look in the mirror and nobody wants to do the work. Being married takes selflessness. Nobody who wants to go see a counselor and see themselves.
Yes.
And be told you should do this. We want to keep doing it our own way because we right.
I was literally telling somebody that the other day, though, real quick. I was saying they were having an issue. For some reason, I ended up counseling married people.
Look at that.
But I was like, well, y'all consider counseling? And they was like, no, I don't want to do that. I was like, well, you don't want the marriage to work.
You don't want it to work. Yeah.
Because if you're not going to use every tool that's available, you don't want it to work. So make a decision. Either you want it to work and you're going to go to counseling or you don't.
You got the toolbox.
You got the toolbox.
It's right there.
So, you know, I was just telling somebody I was just telling a young lady this the other day about men and men communicating and men expressing how they feel. Because I think a lot of frustration comes with women when men don't really say how they feel.
Yeah.
And what it is with men is that this is not for everybody. This is just a general statement. So you can say, well, it don't apply to me. Well, anyway, men don't always express how they feel because we don't want it to be used against us later.
Good.
Later argument.
Gracious. That's
Or
heavy.
I had to
That's
learn
to seem weak
Oh, my gracious.
later on. So if I open up to you right now, if I give you my inner darkest feelings now, then later when I'm supposed to be
use it on
strong,
them later.
right, when I'm supposed to be strong, you use my weakness against me. So now it's going to shut me down. And when you take away a man's voice, you've taken away the man.
When
So,
you make them feel less than.
yes.
And I had to learn that because I did that in our early years of marriage. I didn't know that's what I was doing. I'm right and that's it. And I'm when you're young like that, that's just how you think.
Let me jump in. Women want men to express their feelings, but as soon as we express it, and this is something we've had to
Talk
go
about
through.
it. Talk about it.
And as soon as I began to express how I feel, Michelle will say, "Oh, you're making it up. That's just something you made up in your head." No, you want me to share. Now I'm sharing, but you're telling me I'm making it up. So now I'm gonna shut down.
Or we get called you being sensitive.
There you go.
But you want me to be
You
sensitive.
want me to be sensitive.
But then when I say, this hurt my feelings, or I
Yes.
just want to talk to you.
Yes.
It could be that why does that look that I'm not saying y'all, but
Mm-hmm.
why sometimes is that perceived as weakness? But that's what y'all want us to not be weak, but you want us to be vulnerable with you.
But then when
We're vulnerable, it's perceived as a weakness. What is that about?
Where does that come
Lack
from?
of maturity. It took maturity and growth for me to understand his sensitivity. Because see, my sensitivity is different from his. I had to learn that too.
And let me jump in.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. And ladies, just realize when you're dealing with a real man, it takes a lot for him to open up. So don't take that for granted.
Yes. Yes.
Realize what you're getting. If this man is opening up to me, realize you're in a special position.
That's
Because
right.
every man doesn't just let that out.
Yeah.
Some mom's so stubborn and so hard as a rock, you don't get nothing out of that.
I think what made me even harder,
Yeah.
because I grew up like a hopeless romantic. I believed in love. I believed in.
Me too, baby.
I think that's the line.
I believe, and growing up in a Christian,
Hopeless.
not saying this is a bad thing.
Gracious.
Not saying this is bad, but growing up in a Christian home, we were taught to forgive, love your neighbor as yourself, and forgive, and blah blah blah. And so that's the mentality that I had. So, but when I got into the world and I came in the world with that mentality, I didn't realize the world played with by different rules.
Totally different rules.
So then when I began to use those rules and they were using other rules to hurt me, that also made me shut down and stop expressing how I feel, because the world doesn't forgive and forget.
Okay.
The world doesn't, if you hurt somebody in the world and then you ask for forgiveness, they'll turn it back on you and never forgive you or never talk to you again. So that, when I came into this marriage, I was afraid that would happen. If I did something wrong, I'm not supposed to say I'm sorry because she's not going to forgive me or she's never going to forget it. But I had to come out of that. It was like, this lady loves me. She is my person.
But that
So,
also ties back into where she came from.
it ties back into where
Yeah.
she come from. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
the type
yeah.
of parenting and stuff she had. So
Exactly.
it's full
You should,
circle.
you definitely, and if you don't have the background, you should definitely have every man should have a mentor that they are fearful of and they highly respect.
Yeah.
And that their wife knows that mentor would never tell them anything that will
Okay.
lower their character or have them to act out of character.
That's good.
Every man should have a mentor that they fear, they completely look up to, and they will listen to what they say.
That's
Every
what I'm
man.
struggling
If
with
you
the fear
are
part, but I feel what you're saying.
not fear and trembling and scared,
Yeah.
And a
but
respect type
fear
of thing.
Yeah, you
in a
don't wanna let
respect
them
way,
down.
definitely. Thank you
okay.
for
Yeah,
saying
I get
that.
what you're saying.
Thank you for clearing that up.
100%.
Because it's hard for us. It's hard for men to be submissive to women. It is. It is. For whatever reason, it is. So it may take years for them to open up. It may take years for them to hear somebody, but it got to be somebody that they can hear and they can say, dude, you got a good wife. She trying to do this or she trying to do that, and they will help you to open up. And then your wife needs to have somebody on her end that's saying, that man is opening up to you, girl. Pull back, listen to what they have to say, and don't use it against them. You need people in your life like that.
And I was going to ask another question. How do you as a woman create the environment to make him comfortable to know he can open up? Because sometimes women will say that, but then the way they move, it's like, because we know, we can kind of tell like who we can trust, like open up to. So if you're saying I can open up to you, but your actions are kind of like iffy, you haven't set an environment for me to feel comfortable to do that. So what does that look like?
Lord, that's a good question. Okay, I want to start that off by saying that it probably took me till over a year ago to hear what Eric was saying to me.
Yeah, that's after 16 years, right?
Yeah.
That was 15 years.
15 years, yeah. Wow.
So I want to start off by saying, and I say that humbly, I regret that I couldn't catch on to what he was saying earlier, but I can't do anything about that. So this past year, I've just been trying to make up for it, and
You've been doing your thing, girl.
I
doing your thing.
So this past year, I've been trying to make up for it and continue to move forward and hear him. I think that I wasn't hearing him because for whatever reason, sometimes I can be stubborn. So at home, what I've been doing is, I've been trying to do those things that he desires out of a trophy wife. When he comes home, you know what I'm saying? Before I started the home business, I was doing real good with the cooking thing, but I got some help at home now for cooking. But I try to make sure, at least I try to go to the grocery store and get the stuff,
Yeah, sure.
But with cooking, make sure the house is clean. At least, even if I don't feel like, working out, at least, look presentable, look really, for a lack of a better word, not just presentable, but look pleasing to his eye.
Okay.
Okay. The conversation when I greet him and stuff like that, because one time he come and I be like, Eric, them boys, and I have to be careful about that.
And I got to come home act like I'm mad.
Yeah, you might just get out the car.
Yeah, I'm chilling. Now I got to be mad.
Soon as he open the door.
Right.
Hey, y'all, no. So I've had to learn. It's a learning process. It's a growth. It's just like going to school. You don't go to school 1 year. You know what I'm saying? You go to school for 13 years, then you might go to college. The rest of your life,
Always in school.
So it took me a while to do that, but he had to meet me halfway as well, with helping set the atmosphere for him. Because like you said, he does have to open up and communicate, and he does have to have, he has to understand I can't be a trophy wife, the actual definition, but he knows that I can do certain things to strive to do it, and if he sees that, I feel like for him, that's just enough for him to know that I'm trying.
I guess to create an environment to get a man to open up is get interested in what he's interested in.
That's good.
Really, not just, because we can tell when y'all faking it.
Right. I use a small example. If he likes basketball, get interested in basketball. Find out about the stats and the players, and go to a game with him, or get interested in that. And once you get interested, really interested in what he's interested in, then he'll begin to share things with you, and he'll begin to communicate, and then you'll find out the real man that you have.
And you know what I learned? I've actually seen that. Our parents probably did it too, because I don't know if... I know Daddy was the boxing fan, and Mama would watch, but I don't know how. She was knowledgeable.
Right.
But another example I saw was with Pastor Willie, your father. Her watching basketball and stuff.
They got my mama into that stuff. Last weekend, I was like, why do y'all got my mama into this stuff? Man, my mama's supposed to be talking while I'm spending this time with her. She up here, oh my God, right here, look at Karen, look at him. And
then she know what's going on. Though.
She's like, LeBron crying again. Like, what? Yeah.
But that's a good example of...
And she did that on purpose, especially having grandsons.
Yes.
You have to be intentional. That's what I'm... Look at me being smart and I ain't got no badge.
Being intentional is being mature.
Yes.
Like when you parenting, sometimes you don't feel like parenting the right way, right? But when you parenting, in order to parent the right way, you gotta be mature. You gotta put yourself aside. You gotta do what's best for the whole team.
Good. Listen, y'all.
You know,
y'all see this beautiful picture here. Y'all, people aspire to be that. But if you're not going to implement some of this stuff they saying, don't expect any of it. Because what they're both saying is they've had to choose.
Got to
choose.
That's
it.
I'm choosing the marriage. I'm choosing my mate over my own, which sometimes selfish reasons. I'm choosing them because in the bigger picture, I want this.
Yes.
I already got me. I don't want it to just be me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want this. Man, we could keep going, y'all.
At the end of the day, we want the same goal.
We want the same goal.
At the end of the day.
Yeah,
because really, we got an argument last night. We
didn't
even have to come this morning. We could have canceled it.
For lack of a better word.
Yeah, we got into an argument last night. And it's kind of spilled over.
We was going to cancel it.
We could.
Yeah, but we won't do that stuff. We still going to.
That's what I'm saying.
We still going to do the work, get paid, put the time in. And because you are learning each other, there's no need to stop. Why would you stop? Why would you stop
That's another bar.
Why would you stop the money from coming in? Why would you stop the growth? Why would you stop growing?
And you've invested all this time. All this time. This one person.
You're not going to agree on everything.
Good.
And that's one thing. You have strong convictions, right? I have really strong convictions. So I'll use this example. We say, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me, right? I believe that for myself. So I should believe that for her also. I should believe she can do all things through Christ, which strengthens her. So even if we disagree on something, I have strong convictions. She has the same strong convictions. So even if we're butting heads, I need to see it through her lens. I understand why you see it that way. I disagree with it. However, I'm not going to let it ruin next week. I'm not going to let it ruin next month because that's just the way you feel. Okay, let's move on. We've discussed it. We don't agree. Let's move on.
And we know eventually we're going to come to
we're going to come to some kind of what is called synergy.
Come on here. Come on here, Bishop.
Two different ideas coming together, making a new idea. It's called synergy.
Man,
and that's a bar.
Well, listen,
Cashapp place to go.
What I'm gonna do here, I know y'all got a book and stuff coming.
Yes.
Cause this could keep going, but I want to have y'all back at some point. And I know y'all can't give it all right now.
Yeah, because we don't know it all.
But if each one of y'all could give like one little last nugget of information to married or single couples, just something good for relationships. Each one of y'all, if y'all got something to give it out.
Try Jesus and not me, because I fight. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead, baby. You got a nugget.
Oh my goodness.
And while you thinking, while you thinking, y'all make sure y'all subscribe while they getting their thoughts together.
Yes.
All the information is gonna be in the description.
Crawley Family Center Facebook page.
Hulk Hogan leg
Instagram. Michelle Terrell Facebook page, Instagram. Michelle Terrell MT on Instagram, and the Crawley Family Center website. Go visit for childcare information. Also, you can email us at crawleyfamilycenter@gmail.com. Any questions or inquiries, or if you are seeking counseling, singles, couples, family counseling, and also if you would like to start a childcare business.
So, just the last nugget I would have is, you're not responsible for making you're not responsible for making your spouse happy.
Wow, that's good.
You're responsible for making yourself happy. So what I mean by that is, and we've taught this a lot, and you've seen this in the sessions, that you have to set a boundary.
Right,
Okay,
right.
boundaries are to keep people in, and to keep things in, to keep things out. If Michelle is going through something, okay, I can do what I can to make her comfortable, but I can't make her happy. I can't be inside of her head. I don't care how beautiful I tell her she is. If she doesn't feel like she's beautiful, then she's not going to be beautiful in her head. All I can do is make her comfortable. So I'm not responsible for making her happy. She's responsible for that. I think a lot of times in relationships, we kill ourselves and we beat ourselves up trying to make someone happy.
That's right.
But you really can't do that.
That's beautiful.
So,
anything, sis?
Ladies, stop putting limitations on the bedroom. This is to the married. As long as it's just you two.
Yeah.
This is for the married
For the
couples
married ones,
only.
let's lean to the married
Okay.
people right now.
Yes. Seek information, research, and pray.
Yeah.
God honors marriage. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Listen, that's good. Listen, I thank both of y'all for coming through.
Thank you for having
I
us.
don't know if we helped.
Man, this gonna be posted tonight. I'm gonna once y'all leave, I'm gonna go ahead and get it straight.
This was awesome.
This was good. This is something I want to watch back myself. And y'all take the time. There's so much good stuff in here. Just take the time. Take notes if you have to. You know, they don't get to where they are right now without a story. As you see, 17 years.
Yeah.
It's been some ups and been some downs, but they rode that ride together.
That's it.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all tune in next time. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll talk to you later.